The thruster starts with the athlete going into a full squat with the barbell. The athlete must then stand tall and press the weight overhead. On the squat, the athlete's hips must pass below their knee crease. And during the press, their elbows, shoulders, hips and knees must be fully locked out, standing tall with the weight overhead for a rep to count. Failure to do so will result in a no rep. Athletes may full clean into their first thruster. The hang power clean starts with the barbell in a hang position, anywhere from the knee and above. The clean must be caught in a power position with hips above the knee crease. The athlete must then stand tall with the weight in the front rack for a rep to count before moving on to the next rep. Failure to do so will result in a no rep. The shoulder to overhead starts with the barbell in the front rack position and finishes with the athlete standing tall with the bar overhead, with elbows, shoulders, hips and knees locked out. This movement may be done in any variation, such as the push press, push jerk, or split jerk. Again, athletes must stand tall at the end of every rep for the rep to count. The deadlift begins with the barbell on the floor. The athlete must pick up the bar with any grip position and finish by standing tall with the hips and knees fully locked out. The weight must touch the floor in between each rep. The dumbbell snatch starts with the dumbbell on the floor. The athlete is required with one arm to snatch the weight overhead. This may be done in any variation of a snatch, such as the full snatch, power snatch, or muscle snatch. For a rep to count, the dumbbell must be overhead with their elbows, shoulders, hips and knees fully locked out, and the athlete standing tall. The athlete must then switch hands between each rep, and failure to meet any of these requirements will result in a no rep. The box jump over requires the athlete to jump over the box at the specified height for their division. Athletes can jump onto or step onto the box and land with both feet touching the top of the box. They may then jump down or step off the other side for a rep to count. If you are able, you may fully jump over the box for a rep to count. The burpee starts with the chest and hips touching the ground. The athlete then performs a push-up into a standing position and must then jump and clap overhead. For a rep to count, your hips and chest must touch the ground while on the floor, and your feet must leave the ground during the clap portion. Failure to do so will result in a no rep. The ab mat sit-up requires the athlete's hands to touch the floor above their head while on the ab mat and touch the floor in front of their feet on the sit-up portion of the movement. Failure to hit each of these touch points will result in a no rep. The air squat requires the athlete to start and finish standing tall. For a rep to count, the athlete's hips must pass below the knee crease, and the athlete must stand tall on each rep. Failure to do so will result in a no rep. With the goblet squat, the same standards apply as with the air squat. Except for this movement, you are required to hold a kettlebell in any fashion above your waist. Athletes are not permitted to have the kettlebell resting on their shoulders. Knee raises. While hanging off the pull-up bar, the athlete's feet must start behind the rig, and their knees must raise higher than their waist for a rep to count. Failure to do so will result in a no rep. In the toes to bar, the athlete must go from a full hang to having the toes touch the pull-up bar. Both feet must touch the bar together and inside the hands. The arms and hips must be fully extended at the bottom, and the feet must be brought back to behind the bar, not out front. The pull-up can be done in any variation: strict, kipping, or butterfly. At the bottom, the arms must be fully extended, and at the top, the chin must break the horizontal plane of the pull-up bar. The handstand push-up must start in a fully extended handstand position, not a headstand. From this position, lower your head towards the floor, touching either the floor or ab mat. Then strictly, or with a kip, press back to full extension, ending with both heels touching the wall. The wall ball requires the athletes to have the wall ball in a front rack. For a rep to count, the athlete must squat with their hip past their knee crease and stand tall, while throwing the ball to the target. Failure to hit the specified target or hit depth on the squat will result in a no rep. For the calorie row, the rower must start with all values set to 0. The athletes as a pair must row to the specified amount of calories. The damper may be set to your own discretion. During the wheelbarrow carry, one athlete must carry their partner by the ankles while the other athlete walks on their hands. If either athlete needs to take a break, you may resume from where the hand-walking athlete's chest last touched the ground. The rep is counted when both athletes pass the mark line. Athletes are not permitted to swap positions during the carry.